I kind of want to start, if you don't mind. I've heard you talk about the story a little bit, but your early childhood.
Yeah.
Would you mind kind of sharing kind of a little bit what that was about?
Early childhood, yeah. A lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah.
It was. Everyone's got a story, man. Everyone's got a story to, what built that grit, what built that grind. Fortunate to make it to the big leagues and play a long time. I have like the platform made to talk about it. But I know a lot of people that, went through what I went through that, didn't play in the big leagues and all this stuff. But having kids now, I mean, how do you build grit? How do you build the grind? It's tough. I don't know. But yeah, man, it wasn't the white picket fence. It wasn't, the dog running around and, dropped off at school. Looking back on it, geez, man, times were like tough, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it for the world. Bouncing around houses, at times, not having a house to call home. But man, I mean, I have some of the best friends to this day, when I used to crash on their couch or crash in their house or, when their parents were going grocery shopping, they're going to go for one extra kid because Johnny's always at the house. But there's never any questions asked. But when you talk about it, it like sounds miserable. You're like, oh, geez, that must have been so tough. We used to go to like campsites on Mondays, like KOA campsites or whatever. And we'd riddle, the dumpsters looking for cans to put them in a bag to go recycle the cans for gas money. But that was just the hand we were dealt, man. I mean, my brother and I, we dove in and we were sprinting from garbage can to garbage can. And we just didn't know any different. And, it's not like, oh, I feel sorry for this kids or anything. But man, it was just the hand that we were dealt. We had a lot of grit. We had a lot of grind from that. But yeah, not the white picket fence type of childhood.
Like that perspective, because it seems like you have, obviously you have an amazing perspective on it. And I don't think everyone would have the perspective.
Yeah.
Did you get that perspective from your mom?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Is that how she handled those situations? I mean, because it's incredible.
Yeah. And it was not, poor us by any means.
Ever.
It was not like, oh, like whatever. It was just like, this is the hand we're dealt. Like, this is what we got to do. Like, you want new football equipment. You not want new baseball equipment. You want to go here. Like, we got to find some ways to like make some money. I mean, when I was in, I think like fourth grade, we had a paper route, my mom and I together, that started at 4:00 in the morning, and pop up, fold those papers up and start rifling them off and then get dropped off at school and find a way home afterwards. But my mom was never like, oh, this is so tough, poor us. I wish we had something different. It was just like, this is the hand we're dealt, and we just got to, grind to shine.
What ages was kind of that stage?
Probably like, let's see, second grade until, so it's kind of like in and out, some different times, but I remember some tough times. It was only like 4 or 5 months at a time where things were like really tough, and then we kind of come out of it. But second grade to about freshman in high school, we're
Was kind of
yeah. I mean, that's a big stretch.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like straight through. We'd chill and we'd have a house. We'd be going and we'd find our way home after school or after practice at like 5 or 6 o'clock, and like the house is getting packed up. We're like, yep, didn't make rent this month. On to the next. It's kind of like, all right,
Wow.
let's get it on. So, I mean, fast forward to, just having like my own house now and just like totally valuing like the roof above my head has nothing to do with the size of it. It's not a big, house by any means. You think like, that's the other thing about the big leagues. Everyone thinks you play in the big leagues like you have a helicopter and a jet and you're just nailing it with a lazy river in your backyard. Like, not it. Played 12 years, 11 one-year deals. So that was tough. But I mean, there are so many things that happened in my childhood that like, I just value more than I think the people in my circle value it.
Right. Yeah. What kind of caused the ups and downs? Like, do you mind me asking?
No.
What caused those ups and downs? Because it sounded like sometimes it was going good, and then it kind of
I think it goes back to now where we are as adults and like parents is like just job security, right? I mean, if you don't have a job, you're not getting paid, right? You know, my mom, I think she dropped out of high school, as a lot of people did back then, you know, it's the whole hippie era. But yeah, she was just a hustler. I mean, she did everything from working at a gas station to being a car, you know, a dealer like at a casino.
Really?
We had a paper route together, just all kinds of like hustle money. But when times were tough, you know, it's tough to pay the bills, and we were just kind of like on to the next. So job security is a pretty big deal.
Did it? Would you say it kind of forced you to mature quicker? Obviously?
Yeah, we had to. I mean, just finding a roof, you know, at times, not like all the time, but it was just like, you know, having kids now, you don't have sleepovers during the week, right? It's kind of like, what's going on over here? Why is he spending the night? But my core group of friends and their parents were just, they're so cool, so awesome. And it was never like a feel sorry. And my brother and I, like, we never told the story. I remember an article came out, I think my rookie year in USA Today, about how tough our childhood was. And the whole team like looked at me and they're like, what is this? And I go, I never aired my laundry out to anybody because I didn't need anyone to feel sorry for me. Like, I'm a baseball player. I didn't need to bring any of this up. But yeah, from like, you know, it's so weird to say, but like homeless, you know, it's like, yeah, we were homeless because we didn't have a home, but it wasn't all the time. It was, you know, 3 or 4 months at a time. But we'd have like little rentals here and there.
Yeah.
So from probably like second grade to like sophomore year, probably lived in like 25 houses, bouncing around, just making ends meet.
Man, your mom must be incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like that's like,
yeah,
it's amazing. You ever talk with her, like kind of just like the appreciation of the grind that she must have been going through, and also keep that perspective that you were talking about. I mean, what an incredible woman. What
an incredible woman. And I mean, I got to check myself today because I'll just get bummed out that I got to run my kids to practice. You know, I'm like, this isn't even a fourth of what this woman was doing for my brother and I. We were going all over the place. And I mean, we're scrapping for gas money to get to practice, right? And stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, geez, you got practice at 4. I got to pick you up at 3, and we got to have a little snack on the way, and we got to do this, and I got to pack your bag. And I'm like, relax, dude. Like, Mama Gomes would just nail this. Like, this was her life. So, yeah, man, there's so much stuff that she did that, you know, built me to be the parent that I am today, which,
that's amazing.
You know, so grateful.
Was there an element of you wanting to make it to the big leagues to kind of help her with her financial security? Was that even at a young age, or did you ever think about that, or it never really crossed your mind because it wasn't really, that wasn't what your focus was on anyway?
Yeah, and I thought too, like, if I was ever to like buy my mom like a Cadillac or put her up in this huge house, she'd probably give it back, you know?
Right.
I mean, she would want to come to the game,
yeah,
right? And she did not want the fruits and the flowers that came with it by any means. She just wanted like a prime rib and like $500 to gamble with. Like, that was her, you know, her bonus. She followed me around. All she ever wanted was like my jersey, and on the back of the jersey it said Mama Gomes.
That's really cool.
And she loved traveling around and coming, but I eventually got her set up and dialed in. But yeah, she never wanted, you know, anything back by any means. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast, click right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this content valuable.